Today we're taking a look at lithium producer and explorer Allkem. We're going to be providing a fundamental overview of this company as well as providing some technical analysis to make some predictions on where we can expect to see Allkem go in the near future. Let's get into it. I've partnered with Crypto.com to provide my viewers with an awesome opportunity to accelerate their crypto journey. Crypto.com is used by over 50 million users in 90 countries across the globe and is a leading platform for buying, selling and staking crypto. They also offer metal Visa cards with a huge range of rewards that allow you to convert and withdraw your crypto in fiat currency. Crypto.com is offering a $25 sign-up reward using my affiliate link in the description or by entering affiliate code RyanProven. How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another ASX stock analysis video. Today we're taking a look at lithium chemicals company Allkem. Their ticker on the ASX is AKE, and this is a company which is headquartered out of Buenos Aires in Argentina. Now, this company came about through a merger between Australia's Galaxy Resources, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, as well as Arokaba, which is an Argentinian firm, and they have projects all around the world, both producing projects from a mining perspective, potential exploration projects, and of course the processing facilities as well that are integrated into their lithium supply chain. This is another one of those blue chip lithium companies which are already reaping the rewards of the massive increases in the lithium price and of course the demand for it, but are also looking to expand very significantly into the near future. But let's now take a look at an overview of the company itself and its projects and find out a bit more. Let's firstly take a look at a few of the financials of the company. They're currently worth a market capitalization of $8.88 billion Australian. So really established, obviously, as you can tell, but their financials are really what is exciting considering they are planning on tripling production basically by 2026. So basically last year their revenue was $770 million US, which was a 9 times increase year on year, and of that their net profit after tax was $337 million US, which was a 4 times increase year on year. They're basically now focusing on the current lithium prices, and for half one of FY23 the pricing has been $47,000 US per cubic ton of lithium carbonate or carbonate equivalent. So really amazing stuff kicking it off from a financial side. Now those financials are so strong as a result of their projects, and they obviously have a mixture of established projects which are generating income, but are also forward looking to see how they can expand their business in the future. And the beauty of this company is they're both involved in the actual mining and the, I suppose, brine production side of things, as well as the processing side of things down the supply chain. So they're taking advantage of all these factors. Their flagship project is the Olaroz project, and it is an established producer of high quality lithium carbonate. Right now their production capacity is 42,500 tons per annum, and the resource size for that is 16.2 million tons of LCE. The second project, which I'm sure many of you have probably actually heard of, is Mount Cattlin, which is based in Western Australia, and the Mount Cattlin is another operating project. This one isn't brine like the Olaroz project. This is a hard rock production facility, and the product that they are producing is the typical spodumene concentrate. Now, something interesting to look at now, the Naraha plant in Japan. This is converting technical grade lithium carbonate into battery grade lithium hydroxide. So what they're able to do is basically mine from places like Olaroz or Mount Cattlin and then feed this into their plant in Japan. So they're taking advantage of multiple areas in the supply chain. They also do have a Sal de Vida asset, which is another tier 1 brine asset that readily upgrades to battery grade very shortly. It's in its development phase at the moment, and they've got 2 exploration sort of design or pre-development style projects, which is James Bay in Canada, and the Cauchari project, which is also in Argentina. Allkem's product strategy is also very interesting. It's basically to diversify across high quality lithium chemicals across the market. And their aim is to basically become a top 3 lithium chemicals supplier in the entire world, and they're targeting growing geographies. So you look at places like Western Australia or Argentina and other places in the lithium triangle. They are key areas they're targeting. Secondly, they're also looking at their diversification into lithium hydroxide, which brings us back to their Japanese plant. At this point in time, they've stated that they have no foreseeable competition from local production in Japan. They are the stand-alone producer of lithium hydroxide. Now that is obviously massive, given the fact that if you've got no competition, you are the single source of supply for that region for people to go to. Then finally as well, what they're trying to do is use their spodumene side of things to support the energy transition in North America and Europe, which as we know is getting a lot of attention right now from governments of these sorts of countries. When we're looking at the US, we're looking at European countries, Canada, there is a massive focus on decarbonisation, and lithium being one of the key ways to achieve that. The final point I want to touch on is just how much of a juggernaut Allkem is going to be by the year 2025-2026. Right now, as we know, we have projects like the Olaroz project and the Sal de Vida project currently in production. But what we also can see is they are looking at expanding these. So we've got Olaroz 2, which is expected to come online 2022, so soonish. And then we've also got Sal de Vida, which is expected to come online with its stage 2 in 2025. Basically, what we're going to see by the time we hit the mid to the end of 2025 is that this company is going to have 7 separate projects operational in the lithium space, both from a mining perspective with the spodumene, with a mining perspective from the brine, as well as a processing perspective with lithium hydroxide with their Japanese plant. I hope that provided you with a bit more knowledge about what Allkem is all about, and it piqued your interest into looking into the company more. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the technical chart and perform some analysis on the stock AKE itself and try and make some predictions on where we can expect to see Allkem go in the near future. So let's jump right in. Welcome into the Allkem chart, guys. As you can see right now, the current price of Allkem is sitting at $14.56 at the time of closing on the 14th of October. They recently reached a brand new all-time high, which was on the 15th of September, so only relatively recently, and that was $16.08. Really good stuff there. And as you can see when I zoom out on this chart, you could not find a better chart than this right now on the ASX. We have come from all the way down here underneath $2 all the way up to that massive all-time high. And what we can establish immediately is that there is certainly an upwards trend in place that has been maintained, although it was dropped out of briefly here back in the middle of 2022, but it was returned and then continued onwards and upwards. I'll put in the top end of this as well. You can see multiple potential breaks of the trend, but all in all, everything seems to fall back into this overall trend when we look at this stock. Right now, looking relatively good, sitting above the 50-day moving average, which is acting as a major point of support. And today's close was, as I mentioned, at $14.56, which is above the 20-day moving average, sitting at $14.50, showing signs of strength are certainly still there with the current trend and momentum. I would not be surprised that if we see another close back above this point, the top line is going to be tested on this chart. And I'll just extend out the lines over here just so we can see exactly what will be going on in the future. Now, from, I suppose, a more recent perspective, what can we ascertain from the current patterns in place? Well, I think what we have seen here is a bit of a descending triangle pattern. So we've got our two top ends, I'd suggest probably maybe about there, and then the top end of that moving from all the way up here, as you can see, something a bit like that. Probably there's more accurate, falling out the bottom briefly over here, but we're getting to the pointy end of things. Now, I suppose when we do see something like this occur, it's quite hard to definitively say if we're going to move upwards or downwards. Given the overall trend, we're going to likely move medium to long term upwards, of course, and the lithium price also showing that. But what will really explain to us where we're going to go is both the RSI and the MACD. Now, the RSI has cooled off since its peaks, coming all the way down to the bottom over here at 41.44. Now currently resting above the yellow line at 52.04, primed and ready to go once again. It did peak over here at 78.63, so it's good that it cooled off. If we then look at the MACD as well, what you'll notice is the 12-day EMA and the 26-day EMA are getting closer and closer together, and the red period has shallowed out quite a bit. Now, what we're looking for is a bit of a spike in volume, and what that will signify is a possible cross of that 12-day EMA above the 26-day EMA. Of course, that spike needs to be in buying volume. That is the key right here. So all in all, how are we looking at the moment? Pretty good in my opinion. Now let's have a look as well at the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands wise, you can see that the bands are now starting to come a bit closer together, still pretty far apart, so no major breakouts are imminent from that perspective. I also want to put in a bit of Fibonacci for you. And I'm going to grab here, go to the bottom end over here, move to the top of our peak and then go across. And what you'll notice is the price action is struggling around the 0.236 mark. That is where there's been a lot of indecision, and the close above that now signifies that strength is certainly there. So I don't think the Fibonacci overall is providing too much insight. It has in the past, as you can see, but right now it's looking like, given the volatility of obviously hitting all-time highs, people taking profits, and then people entering again when they've seen the stock come back down, it's making it a bit harder to distinguish what's going on. Overall though, what would the target be for this stock? My price target would actually not be our all-time high. Instead, I'd be targeting the top end of this channel, because if we maintain this channel, we're going to see slow, steady, and consistent growth, which is ideal for investors in the medium to long term. From this point, right at the tip here, which is about Friday next week, the 21st of October, that top end is sitting at about $15.72. I'd suggest that should be the target for investors if they are looking at this stock. That wraps up today's analysis of Allkem, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.